Hello and welcome to Spy Money. This is the Thursday morning brief. Did you all sleep good last night? I slept like a baby. Yesterday was a stellar day, and I plan on just making today even better. I was hoping that the market would be a little bit different than what it is right now, but hey, I'm going to take it. As you always said, take it with a grain of salt. Well, I'm taking it with a Benjamin. So last night, went to bed after the closing. My account just started growing. I trade futures too, so my account ended up raising like $4,000 before I went to bed, and I didn't even do anything. It was just using strategic charting to buy stuff and to get stuff at good deals. It's not about should I buy Walmart or whatever. That's the first part. You buy Walmart as far as get the idea that this is where you need to go, and then you start looking to buy the deals, and that's where you make your money. So right now we are looking at ES. So I put it on a 15-minute chart. You can see, and it's just kind of roller coaster, like I talked about. Actually, last week I was talking about how this week would probably be consolidation. Right now it's actually in a descending triangle, but it busted out right here yesterday. It actually ended up barely breaking the low of a year ago. Actually, a little bit longer now. If we look back, let's see, when was that? Been looking at charts so much. It see, it was December of December of 18. So actually, it'd be December of 17. Sorry, December of 17, and we've actually just barely broke that. Come down, broke through here, but it popped back up. So, that's pretty strong. But there's a lot of buyers here. That's why it pushed up. So go back to our 15-minute chart. This is where we actually broke through it, and then we come down, and right here is the bottom. So right now we're in a higher low. So until we come down below that, then I'm fine with it. This may end up, let's see, if we go back to let's do a 1 hour, so we can get our charting better. So this one is not actually playing the part. I think we're actually in a pennant, and because of those two right there, let's see here. If I bring that up, let's say I bring it to those bodies right there. And then this one, if I go ahead and bring it, yep, that's going to work out. So this one, I'm going to bring off the tip of that one there. So see, we've already changed our charting. That's why as the candles move, you have to adjust. You can't just set it and say, well, that's the trend and let it be. So right now we are forming a pennant. That is great news, actually. I would, based off of this right here, if we come down and if we test this trend and don't break and we stay above it, this will come through, and it looks like we are, see here, what day would that be? Let's see, this is Thursday, so Friday would be here. So this would be all day today, and then Friday, yep, we're going to break out on Sunday. Sunday's going to be the day. Are we going to go down or are we going to go up? I personally believe we're going up. I've been bullish for quite a while now. As far as since we come down and touch right here, I've been bullish. Now, this is where the buys have been. So everything I bought right here, or as one guy says, Clint says, I love his phrase. He's such a good group guy. In our membership, our Discord membership, he's always he's buying cheap, and I love it. He's actually taught us some things about how to bargain shop, and I thought I was a bargain shopper until he came along. So anyway, we've been buying a lot of calls in here, and why we have is because we feel that our U.S. economy is actually bullish. It's sure we're in a bear move the last few weeks, but all in all, our economy is great. And there's going to be some shutdowns over the next week to 2 weeks or whichever, and that's going to hurt our economy for sure. And hopefully with the government giving out some money and stuff, that'll help people get by. But at the same time, if you can't shop, then what's that money going to do? It's going to cost taxpayers a lot of money later. So that's why you put money back. You always try to have 6 months reserve put back, and don't spend your money that by paycheck to paycheck. Most Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and that's sad. I don't. I live. I'm not rich by no means, but I manage, so it goes by. So on this one, I think we're going to be in this little pennant, and this will probably pop up today. We'll probably hit up in this range right here, which would be around the 24, probably the 2463 area or so. Is probably about where we'll go. We might even just stay on this little trend right here, and because it probably won't, it may or may not break that. So this may just come up and touch there, and then it'd be a sell-off tomorrow, which would come into play like we usually do. So I think we're going to be bullish all day today, and then we're probably going to sell off all the way down to here, and then that's noon. So we actually might break out tomorrow at the end of the day. So we're either going to sell off and drop out this pennant, or we're going to go up. My bet is up, and that's really what I hope. I'd love to see the market start rallying again. That would be really good. So that's where we are with ES. I think this is going to play out pretty decent. Actually, this one right here, we dropped out of that wick right there, so it might just barely pop through here, but we'll have to see. Time will tell. And if we go to gold, gold did not do what I thought it would last night. I thought gold, it actually ended up dropping down to 1460, thereabout. And I thought gold would actually be down here by this morning. And I've got puts on gold right now. And I was hoping it would drop down to here. And that way it would sell off, and then I would be sitting on a boatload of money. But it didn't. So it's staying up. Here's our 50% fib. And it dropped out of that channel there, which was a bullish pennant, or a bullish flag. This one is now out of play. So we're going to take this one out. And we're going to take this one, and we're going to adjust this one down to here. It barely broke through there. But if you look at this, we got a top one. We touched, barely broke through. We touched here, we touched there. This just keeps on going down. I'd love to see gold get down to the 1381 today. And I think when it does, it seems like gold and the market have been running together a lot. A lot of times gold will start dropping when ES is going up. And for the typical thing, if the market's going up, your bonds will come down and gold will come down. But as high or as low as the market has dropped, I cannot believe that gold is not, over 2,000. And it's just amazing that it has dropped too. So it's really kind of confused me on the market as far as where we're going with it. Usually I watch gold, and if gold is dropping, then I know the market's going up, and that's why I've been so bullish on it. The market's just been dropping off, or the gold has been dropping off the whole time. This is gold started going up when it originally the market started dropping. Gold was going up, and it hit that trend right there, and it's been coming down. And if you remember, this trend is coming down to here. Okay. So right now, there's your fib at 1381.80 is where that green fib is. And zoom in a little bit better. There you go. So it hit that, barely went through, and it's been coming down all along. That's why I've been so bearish on gold. And I've got long-term puts. I mean, I've been playing it I've been playing the bounces on it. So if we look back on, say, a daily, see if we can see it better. Do a 4 hour. Doing the 4 hour, this will show it a little better. Okay, so I've been playing the drops and then let it come up, and then I've been playing again. So this is how I've been playing it the whole time. And right now, we've got that trend line, and if we come back up to here, let's see here. Oops, wrong one. Okay, so that one's actually playing out as well. So we've got this one for short term. This one's more long term. And it looks like, where we hit there, it looks like we should be just keep on coming down. If we come back to, we're dropping below that fib. If we go back to a daily, And if we did a daily fib, let's see if we do Fibonacci and then come back here, pick up the low, and then we go up and pick up the high right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change this one to where it's all purple so that we can actually see what's what. So all the purple ones are the hourly or the daily. So if we come back over here and look at this, we're actually bouncing off the bottom. If we go to a 1 hour to see it even better, you can see we hit the bottom of these and then it just kept on dropping. So, you know, this is going on down. It looks like 1446 is where we ought to be pretty soon. This is on an hourly, so we should hit the 1446 pretty quick. And then, you know, we might play around with that just a little bit and then come on down to the 1406. And then we're looking, you know, around the 1380 is the original fib. So somewhere along this area right here is where we're actually headed, and based on, you know, our fib lines and such. So if we do, so you can see it a little better, we've got 1385 is the daily fib, and then the weekly is 1381. If I adjusted out the weekly and stuff, it would probably get closer, because usually the fibs will be right on top of each other. So if we come back here and if we look at right there, see that one's right on it pretty good. And then if we come down to, let's see, where's our other one? Back over here. A lot of people get confused on these fibs, and it's really just not that hard. It's just a matter of picking your targets. Let's see if we go back to here. And a lot of times, you know, when you set them, they are just a little bit off. So it's hard to get them exactly. And, you know, if you zoom in on that, you know, that's a lot closer than where it was. So now let's go back here and see where we are with the weekly and the daily now. Let's see here. Go there, and then we come on back down. Still close. So that weekly may be a little off, because when you do a weekly, you can't get them exact. That's the reason I always tell everybody, you know, don't necessarily look for the fib itself. It's going to be around this fib. And so I've always got mine sell before. And if you look at this right here, you can see I've got my alerts ahead of time. Now I've already put my sell in for, I think it's 1401 is where my sell is for my gold puts. So, and how you do that is whenever you go into your Thinkorswim, I don't know about other programs, but Thinkorswim, when you go into it and you start down here and you start putting your price, well, right here in the middle, it'll say approximate value of the stock that for that to hit. So that's how I go by. It's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty close. It gets you real close to it. So it looks like gold is probably going to continue to sell off here. I think since it actually went up here and touched this trend, it's probably just going to keep on going down. It looks like we'll probably come down close to this 1446 fib, and it might bounce up a little bit and then come back down. So just keep an eye on that for gold. Crude oil, man, I'm like, I feel like a pig in a slaughterhouse. They have just cut me open. I'm telling you, I got in calls back over here, and I just, you know, I saw this dip right here, and I thought, well, it's just going to come right on up, but it hasn't. I'm glad I got some time on my calls. Right now, I'm way down on them, but I'm hoping for a rebound. As soon as the market starts turning, this crude oil will come back. There's no doubt in my mind. And then you have the dollar. Look at that rally. I mean, that's just crazy. There is another stock that actually follows this, and I think it was UUP. I think it's that one there. Yes, this one. If I'm gonna put that on the list actually. UUP. Someone in our Discord group called that out. I can't remember who it was, or I'd give you a shout out. But the this one follows the dollar, and let's see if I can find that UPP or no UUP. I'd like to find out who it was that called that out. Salty was the one. So thank you, Salty. I should have went ahead and jumped on that and got in it. I just wasn't. I don't know. I just, after we talked about it in the chat, I just kind of forgot about it. There's so many of them I go through. But I'm going to put this one UUP, and so when the dollar starts reversing, we can get in puts on this. And if we go into trade, look at that. Let's say we do September's. The calls in here, they're spread apart a little bit. I don't like those big spreads, but if you're going long term, like in puts, if you come over here and went back to, let's see, if we look at that chart again, probably going to come back. Let me look at a weekly here. Weekly, so it looks like the median is probably rolling through here. It's 2460. Yeah, it's probably rolling through here is where it's staying. 2460 would like a big good average of where you're going. So if you have 2460 and you go back here, 2460 be three points back. So 20 be 20. Yeah, 3 points back. So I think if you bought some puts right along this area, then you'd probably be fine. These down here, there's no open interest in them, so I'd stay away from them. So I like to get over 100 on open interest on stuff. So, but look at those spreads on that. So may or may not be good. The spreads on this right now, being after hours, they actually do open up. So it's something we can look at later. But if we go back to the dollar, actually right here, the dollar, and we can see that this big old spike, that's not going to last forever. I mean, that's like being up in a skyscraper and it's on fire right now, and you don't want to be the guy in the fire, skyscraper by yourself. You want to be the guy that's down here. So you don't want to get out here. You want to get out down here where it's a little safer. So you can probably hit the mat when you jump out the window right here, where up here you're probably going to miss that mat. So when you're trading, you don't want to be at that top. You want to get out before that thing starts coming down. So jump out and jump back in down here. So this one, you got the big old tall skyscraper here. Well, look at all these people jumping out. You don't want to be these guys here. You want to be the guy that is going up and gets off and gets out, and they don't take the crash. So this one right here is going to run up, and it's probably going to pull right back. It's eventually going to start selling off. We're at 102.30 right now. Being at 102.30, I mean, on the U.S. dollar, that is horrible for other people coming over from other countries or whichever. Of course, like I said last night, we don't necessarily want people from other countries to come in right now. We just want everybody to stay away from us and let this CV kind of do its thing and move on. So I think that we're getting close to the top on this. If you look at the weekly and see, we busted out this pennant even. Just went straight through it. I thought we would actually hit the top pennant and then sell off. So any of you Forex traders and stuff, there's a chance this can go all the way up to $1.13. And if you look back at let's see, we're looking at about 120 is our high that we've had. They're about 120, almost 121 is the high that we had, and that was back in 2000. That was in 2000, June of 2000. So if you look back at June of 2000, things were not great, not always the best then. When we started getting, started coming down, then we got into the crash. Look here what happened. The dollar started going up, and this has just been a nightmare. So we want our dollar. We don't want our dollar up that high. It's too much inflation. So we want it to come down. And then if we come back to NG, I'm bullish on. Let's see what it did overnight. I haven't even looked at it. It looks like it's selling off right now. It's coming way down. So NG is not looking good right now, but I think that we're still going up. I think it's just in a consolidation mode right now. It may continue to sell off. Usually in the summertime this will come way down, but being where it is and all the sell off, I just thought it would keep on going up. And if we tie this in, so we picked up that one and this one. Two touches is not necessarily my favor, but that's where we are. This one didn't quite hit it and ended up selling off. That is a huge sell off just now too. That's going from 1683 to 612. I wish I was in the short on that. I don't know what just happened, but that's a big sell-off for that stock there, or that index. So let's see what happens with it. I wouldn't get in it right now. There's too much roller coaster here, and this actually looks like, looking back at it. Now this is a 15-minute chart. I don't pay too much to 15-minute for long term, but you've got a cup, and then this right here would be the handle, and it should have taken off right there, but it actually sold off. So I don't know. We're at that trend again, so we'll just have to wait and see on that one. NQ, same as ES, same chart, just a little roller coaster. So we're going in a channel here, and once we get through this pennant formation here, then we'll see where we're going. I still think that after Friday, I think next week this is probably going to take off. This is a descending triangle, which is usually a bearish one. It's not always, but I just, with all the governments doing stuff, I just can't imagine them letting it go down further. So let's see. I'll do VIX because that's really kind of part of the futures. And when the market's going up, VIX will come down. It's kind of consolidating through here. This could actually be a type of cup and handle here as well. So if we do that one, and then there's your handle, and then right there it's starting to go up. So we're probably going to have a red day on ES. See what ES is doing right now. So see, it's dropping off right now. So with ES dropping off right now, that's going to make the VIX go up. So this is probably going to make a new record. I don't think we've been up that high on it. Yeah, this is, let's see, the highest we've ever been. Let's do a trend right there. So we're looking at roughly $90 is where the VIX has gone. So it may very well hit that 90 today. That's going up 9 points. So we get up there, then I'm going to do some long puts again. I'll do more of them. And we go down to American Airlines. One thing about American Airlines is the industry itself, I just don't see the government allowing it to drop out to non-existence. One guy in my group mentioned that American Airlines, if it drops far enough, they may bankrupt, and then once they bankrupt, then go after the government for a bailout, and then they'll step in, and then they'll just start up a new company and go on. So that's something to think about. If that happens, then any kind of shares or whatever you have in there would just go away, and then they would start up a new company, and then the shares would take off, and they're back going pretty good at the stockholders' expense. So hopefully you weren't in up here and held it all that time, because if they do go bankrupt, then you just lost all of your money. I've got a few $100 in call options on it, and if that falls out, then it's only a few $100. It's not that big a deal, but let's just hope it gets turned around and takes off and goes on up. So American Airlines, I'm not real sure on yet the way it's going. I think before I jump in anymore, I think I'd have to start seeing a reversal, unless you're buying stuff for pennies. And if you got $100 or something in it, or $200, it's worth that risk for the reward you'd have. So risk reward is a big part of your trading. Then we got Apple. Apple, they say don't fall far too from the tree. Well, I tell you what, this tree just fell over. The tree came down to meet the apple on this one. Will it continue to go and bankrupt? No. Apple is not going to bankrupt. But they've got to get out of this. But they have been consolidating here. That's a good sign of reversal. So, and your 15 is starting to get closer up there, but still dropping down. We've got this. That one's really not. That's really not a good one anymore. Never was really. So we're going to take that one out. If we look at this one from right here, see that it's just, that's probably the pennant or the place right there. So if we come on down to here, and the reason I say that is we got this one, we've got that one, and then we broke through, but yet we bounced off of the top here. So let me zoom in there. So see how we started bouncing off that? and then all of a sudden it just dropped down. So that trend is actually a good trend. So it's not just the trend off of the bottom or just the top, but it's on both sides. You just got to look and see what actually matches up. Just kind of use common sense when you're drawing out trends. If you got a bunch of touches, then it's probably right. So this one is looking like, this is going to be Thursday. Here's Friday. So on Friday is going to be the last day that we do anything. So this is going to be on Monday. And Monday is either going to have to drop or go up. It's on a descending triangle. So we'll just have to see. The whole market is on a descending triangle. And it's kind of scary because the majority of the time that's a sell-off on a descending triangle. But this could easily go up. There are times that it will break out on the upside. And it just, I guess, depends on what the government does. AMD the same way. I'm long on AMD. Even if as long as you get long enough, as soon as the market does get turned around, this is going to take off. So I'm fine with it. Amazon, I am very bullish on Amazon. I've loaded up. I think I've got, around $1,300 or so that I've made on one of them. I think I've got 10 calls at long. I think it's. Let me look here. I'll tell you what I got. So I've got September's and I've got June's. So my position there, I'm up $1,325 on it, and this one I'm up $257 on. So this one I've only got 5, and this one I've got 10. So the difference there. So I'm buying further out. I think I even have another order. No, I thought I had another order in, but I guess it canceled out last night. You got to make sure you put good to cancel instead of just day. That way your orders will stay in place. So I am setting pretty good on that. That September one, that's going to turn into tens of thousands of dollars. Probably in the $75,000 range, I think, if I had it figured up right, if it moves what I want. But I won't sell it until August. I'm just going to let it ride because Amazon is going to kill it. If you look back on a weekly, it's dropped down into, it had the same pattern that ES had, and it dropped down into here. So I think that that when this thing takes off, it's just going to go hard. So I would say personally that when this thing takes off, it's going to bust through there, and it's just going to go up into the 3,000s. I think that Amazon is probably, if you look, I look back, and there was every year it's almost doubled. But some years it went up 800%. So when you look at that, like if you went from right here to there is 800 and some points. So there's like 75%. So actually it wasn't it hasn't doubled or 800%, but it's actually went up 800 points. I'm sorry. So it's 75% it went up there, and then from here to actually I've been right there is 30%, and then from here to here is 63%. So averaged out probably 50% increase. So right now, if we started off from here and went up to 50%, we can't even get there yet. So by the end of the year, that would put her at 2884. But I think it's going to blow this one out of the record. And the reason I say that is because of all the shopping. People can't go out, so they're flooding Amazon. Amazon's out of a lot of stuff. So I think that we could easily do the 80% range or even higher than that. So if we went to 100%, that's going to put you at 3756 by the end of the year. Could it go there? Very easily. I think Amazon is on the cutting edge. I order from there every week. My daughter, my wife does. So Amazon's not going anywhere. This is the new mall. So when you were out shopping before, we'd always go to the mall. Now we just take our fingers and go to Amazon. And so I think this is just going to take off and keep on going. We have Boeing. Can't say enough good things about Boeing. I think this is a long-term play. Who would have thought we'd be at 92.88? I never thought we'd see the 200s again, and now we're down in the 90s. So, but it keeps on going off. Should we get puts on it? Very well may, because this thing may just keep on going. It may go down to $28. Who knows? So I know one of our persons in the group, he bought puts in I think it was on that one that he had his record profit transaction. It was on BA puts, so he's making bank on it. I wish I'd have bought more puts on it. And we got Carnival Cruise Line. Carnival Cruise Line just keeps on going down. I thought that 1485 was going to be the end. It keeps on going. There's a chance this may actually go down into bankruptcy. They may have a plan of their own. So I may get some puts on it and just write it down to kind of hedge a little bit. We're not far from $1. And you got to think this was at. Let me go back. This was at $51 just back the first of this year. So from $50 to $6 in a matter of 3 months, that is just crazy. And then we got Clorox. I wish I'd have bought Clorox. I didn't get filled. I should have got in it yesterday. I wasn't watching it. If I could have got in on this downturn, then Clorox is just going to keep on going up. Everybody wants to clean, so very bullish on it. And we got Mickey Mouse here. Mickey Mouse is hit below the 81.26 all the way down to 79.21. Disney. Who would have thought Disney would go that cheap? So Disney long term, they're not going bankrupt. They got too much money, and all these kids, the parents taking their kids to see Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and Goofy and all them. They're just not going anywhere. Everybody loves Disney, even NFL players. Where are they going to go when they win the Super Bowl? They're going to Disney. They have the big parade there and all that stuff. So, Disney is a marketing machine. And Walt Disney has done a great job from the beginning. His kids have taken over. Some things I don't really care for, but for the most part, they're just continuing what Walt started. So Disney is a buy for me. And, it may drop more, and that's fine, but just get your longer term. As soon as these things start turning, then your long options are going to pay off. So it's a buy. Roku is starting to consolidate a little bit. That's good news. I'll probably try to get in some calls today. It's dropping right now. You can see right there it's dropping off that fib. So I think that if this will come down to here, I'll probably try to get in some calls as it's coming here. It could easily go to the 50.04, which is probably where it's going to go. And the puts are just, the premiums are too expensive to get in compared to what I'm buying. So I'm not sure about getting them puts there unless you want to try to scalp, but you're going to pay for that. And you're going to make a little money probably, but you're not going to make what you want to make. So this one right here, Roku, I think I would kind of wait it out a little bit and see where it goes. I think $50 probably buy it. Like I said, you can get some puts and try it. It dropped from here to there was 23%. So if we come back here and we go from here to there, that's 25%. So it could easily hit this fib down here. So what I'll probably end up doing today is go ahead and jump in some calls on the way down. And the calls are, see how expensive they are for if you go to like in October. They're jacked up right now because after hours, but you might be able to get these for 20-30 cents a piece, possibly. It depends on where these go. That's for October, so if I can get some for that, that'd be great. If you go into, see here, January, do this one. January of 21. If you went down, that could easily be a 250 stock, so you can buy this for $1. And then, if it goes up to that, you're looking $1 to $2,100. So that's a huge percentage there that you could possibly make. So I'm bullish on Roku, but not bullish short term. Bullish long term. Space is out in space. They just keep on dropping. And that is, Space was kind of like a hype stock is what I call it. And being a hype stock, it's like Guild. Guild's up and down, and it's all about the news related and such. So Space is the same thing. Everybody was jumping on board, and the people that got on it and with buying stocks, they got their hind end handed to them, because look at that, it went up to $42. There was people buying stock here that probably still own it down here at the $10 range. So they've lost 75% of their money off of that if they didn't get out. So Space, I never was that wild about it. I made some money on it. and I did okay with it. I didn't make tens of thousands of dollars, but I think I'm up maybe $1,000, maybe $2,000 or something on it, something small, but it was money. I rode the train for a while, and I should have got in my puts and just stayed in it. Hindsight. And SPY, same as ES, it's dropping right now. And I thought we'd actually go ahead and go up to here this morning, but we come on down there a little bit. We may come on up. It just all depends. We're still in that descending triangle on it. TLT, I sold that thing. I sold right here on that tip, and made I think it was $11,265. I think is what I made on that yesterday. What a play! I was trying to sell it. Where was I trying to sell it? I was trying to sell it right here on this 151, and then it just kept on going, so I just stayed in it and rode it all the way down. So I'm glad I sold there. It may drop more today, but I took my money and ran. I mean, I was like a marathon runner around the block. I mean, I was just so happy with that money. So I hit a home run on it. You can't always hit home runs, but that was definitely a home run. And Tesla, who would have thought 360? I mean, I guess they didn't plug up the car on this one, and it died. So with Tesla, Elon needs to go out there and do some tweeting or something to make this thing go back up. And I was watching a video on the life of Elon Musk and how he started and stuff, and it's just amazing of how he came over from South Africa and with nothing, and he went to I forgot what state it was he landed in, and he got on a bus. Oh, it was in Canada, Toronto. He got on a bus, and he started riding a bus around, trying to figure out where he wanted to live. He wanted to see the country, so he just started riding buses everywhere. And then he landed in Toronto, and from there he decided that he was going to go to California because that was the internet boom then, the .com boom. He went out there and started up a business. And when he got that business started, ended up selling it for something like $370 million or something. And all he did was it was kind of like a sort of like a Craigslist type thing. He made a website and started putting all the retailers on it, restaurants and the automotive places and this and that. It was like an online Yellow Pages is what it was. So he said in that thing, it said they threw a yellow book at him and said, "You think you're going to replace this?" Well, who uses a yellow book now? Elon Musk was the pretty much the inventor of online Yellow Pages. I mean, it was him that did it, and I can't remember the name of it, but he sold it for like $370 million, and it just took off. I think it was, I can't remember the name to say. But anyway, he sold it, and that's where he got his money to take off and do things. So, and now he's just a genius, in my opinion. So, Elon Musk, you need to do something about this. Make an online electric car or something. Make this thing take off so we can all hop on with you and ride it to the top. So Twitter, I've got put some orders in on Twitter today. I don't think Twitter's going anywhere, and honestly, I'm shocked that Twitter's actually dropped because right now everybody's tweeting about everything. So this company should be going up. So I'm really not sure why it's where it is. If you come down through here, I mean, look at that. It's $22. We dropped below the fibs. If we go back to the weekly, we were actually up to $47.84, and now we're down to $22. It actually went down to $20. Hit that, and we come up. We're staying above this fib right here, so we closed up above it. So I'm thinking, possibly bullish here. I actually have an order for the calls, so. But they're long. I'm willing to buy something now. Even if I lose a little money over the next week, I'm fine with it because I'm looking at the long term. If it drops down more, I'll just buy more. I'll just keep buying. Then we have Walmart. Walmart, in my group, hit a huge home run. Now, 125 is where I said way back when, and I don't know if I still have it drawing or not. Yeah, right here. I deleted what I was saying up here, where it was going to the 125 mark, but it actually ended up going up to 128 and then sold off right there. Do I think it's going to continue? I do, but I think Walmart's going to take a little breather. It might sell off again today. It might come down to, It might even come all the way back down to 113 or so, and then I think it'll take off again. So I'm gonna wait on the pullback on it and then see where we go. Yesterday I bought some puts on it to try to play. I bought puts right here, and I accidentally sold those puts right along through here and didn't realize it. And then I was sitting there watching this thing, and it was going down. And when it come right here, I went back to sell them. I was going to sell them as it was going to this fib. I went back to sell them, and I'd already sold them. I had $1,600 in puts on this, and I was just playing the little pullback. It was a day trade, and I ended up selling it for $30 profit. So time I paid my commissions and stuff, I was a little over $20 on that. And if I would have sold it where I wanted, then I probably would have been up $1,500, maybe $2,000 or so right here. So that was just a mistake. So make sure that you pay attention to your orders. Let's go back to ES again, and we're going to finish this up. In case you don't know, we have a Discord group. In that Discord group, we talk about all these charts. We do live streams. We chart online. We buy online. We're all talking amongst each other as far as which trades we're getting in. We do the trend lines, everything. We do everything just like if what I'm doing now, except I actually pull up. We're trading live. It's really good. Our chat rooms are staying full. Our chat rooms get to where everybody's calling out stuff, and they're just making bank, and I love it. There is a fee for our membership, and you can find that information down in the bottom in the description, but that fee is nothing compared to what you're going to make. One guy was talking this morning. I think he said he was up to, let me look at that message again. Since being in our group, he's been in there for about, I think 8 days now. Counting today, so actually 7 days yesterday, and he's up $2,000 on a small account, and I think that's great. So being up that far on a small account in 7 days, and that's not even 7 days. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 trading days, and he's up $2,000. So if you've got a small account, don't think you can't make money, because we trade. I trade a larger account, but I still trade like I have a small account. And I don't trade $100,000 on a trade. I don't do that. I don't even have that in my account. What I do is I trade it on the small scale to keep it real for one, but I might just buy more contracts of it. But I still try to buy like if I had a $500 account. So I'm looking for trades that I can afford with a $500 account, and then I just throw a bunch more options in it, and then I make huge money. So don't think you can't make. It's all about percentage. It's not about the dollar. So get plugged in on that Discord group. You're going to make a lot of money with it. Like I said, there is a fee, but you're going to make that back on your first trade probably. There's some people in there that are buying. One paid $20 for one and ended up selling it and made $140, and she did that in, I think it was 2 or 3 days. So she took $20 to $140 in just a couple of days. So she's following the trades. She's not able to buy some of the trades we buy because they're more expensive, but the majority of everything we buy are small ones. So if you got a small account, you're going to make money. I took $90 on Walmart, turned it into $19.65, and I did that in 2 weeks' time. It's pretty good. So get plugged in, and if you like this video, if it served you well, give me a thumbs up. Give me a like down there. It helps me out. Let's share this. Get over 100 subscribers in it. We just started a channel a few weeks ago, and we need to get our subscribers. And when we get to 100, I can do more things with the YouTube, and that would help me greatly. So I will talk to you this evening. We'll do a recap and find out where we are, and we'll see if Mickey meets Minnie tonight. Maybe they can have a date night this weekend. You guys have a great day. Go green.